You see, America is racist. So if you love America, you are a racist. And if you're a racist, you celebrate whiteness. And to celebrate whiteness is to say, I'm better than blacks. And you're very particular about white, too. You don't include Jews or anyone. And you want all of them to leave. I guess Asians have to go back to Asia. So this guy, this boat, is saying whites are better than all other races. And all other races, I guess they either know their place and never look me in the eyes and just keep doing my dry cleaning, or they have to go back. I'm not exactly sure how they think that patriotic whites want. I'm not sure what they think is going to happen to minorities in this scenario, but they definitely have to be seen as an other and less than, right? That's the narrative. Now that is fucking insane for so many reasons. The biggest of which being America is a group of ragtag misfits who came together and said, let's stop talking about class and race and all this other shit and just build a place on meritocracy. If you're here and you respect Christianity, you don't have to be Christian, by the way, but you should respect it as it's the building block of the country. But you're here, you respect the country, its values, you want to work hard, you're in. Like that weird Indian dude who owns the Panthers, the Florida football club. He came here from India. He was doing body shop, doing a great job. Then he starts a chain of body shops. Maybe I got the wrong guy. I saw him on 60 Minutes once. He's a very Indian dude. And, oh, that's him with the headband, isn't it?
Shahid Khan?
In one of the pictures there? No, in your pictures. The bottom row of pictures. Is that him? No, Ryan, are you fucking blind? Above that with the headband. How can you not see that? Oh, it's a hat. Yeah, that's the guy. Who's he now? Oh, of course it's in an article about how racist pro-ownership is, and I'm using it to talk about how great America is. Yeah, well, it's kind of hard to own a football team here. I'm sorry they're not all ethnic. But anyway, that guy comes along, Shahid Khan. He goes from body shops to owning a football team. And it's not like people are going, fucking Packy owns this football team. That sucks. When they are waving American flags at his games, they are pumped about their team, and that includes him. That's America. That's what Trump means. That's what American flags mean. Anyway, let's hear her insane fucking take.
I was on Long Island this weekend visiting a really dear friend, and I was really disturbed. I saw, dozens and dozens of pickup trucks with, explicatives against Joe Biden.
Stop.
On the back.
What the fuck are explicatives? This woman is on the board at the New York Times, and she is retarded. I'm going to show you in a second that she was the imbecile who thought $500 million given to America would be $1 million per American. 500 million. There's about almost 500 million of us. So everyone gets $1 million, right? Like that is.
Explicative is a word, and it's not the word she was looking for.
What's explicative mean?
It's serving to explain logically what's contained in the subject.
So she meant expletive.
Yes.
Sorry, that's just as bad. Anyway, they were saying explicatives. Actually, they were yelling explicatives, and you mis-explict them.
Trump flags, and some cases just dozens of American flags, which is also just disturbing because essentially the message was clear. It was, this is my country. This is not your country. I own this. And so until we're ready to have that conversation, this is going to continue. As long as they see Americanness as the same as one with whiteness.
Pause. Isn't that amazing? She is conflating Americanness with whiteness, and then she's saying these other people have to get over it and stop doing that. That's the same as religious Puritans seeing everything as Satan. Oh, I dropped my jelly piece on the ground and it landed jelly first. Satan has clearly infiltrated the kitchen and is ruining my jam sandwiches. Like they push this whiteness thing into everything around them until a bunch of patriotic people that are pissed with pickled peppers and that Trump didn't win the election is somehow all about her and her blackness. No, bitch. No one cares about you.
She didn't fix her picture frames after the earthquake? What the fuck? Maybe like ordering them and making them
dumb to put up pictures. Look at how the white framed one is touching the wood one.
I have a theory that she thinks that leveling them off is actually a sign of whiteness. That's the order of
Ani
that
DeFranco, the feminist folk star, says, "I don't like right angles. Those are not my rules."
Nice. She believes that too.
Continue. We have to figure out how to get every American a place at the table in this democracy, but how to separate Americanness, America, from whiteness.
Yeah, get to
Until we can confront that and talk about that, this is really going to continue. I was on Long Island this weekend.
Wow.
Visiting a really...
What a fucking weirdo. Talk about the dictionary definition of a snowflake. You're offended by Trump signs. And yeah, I think those people do hate you. You know why? Because you're a stupid bitch at the New York Times that is obsessed with woke politics and is ruining this country by dragging us all back to pre-MLK days. Because you're such a mental midget, it's all you really know. You can't be challenged with stats and numbers and real facts. The story exploded. What's 1-6? Oh yeah, there it is. I think America has officially had enough of woke. And I think the tipping point was critical race theory. They started saying children in our schools have to learn how much they suck and that they're white and white is bad. And I think the average apolitical American has said, no, wait a minute. I didn't mind when anarchists were burning down Portland. I've never been. But now that you want to come to my school and tell my kids they suck, we're out. There was a good JP Grime, G Prime 85 cartoon about it, 1-7, where she sees these trucks and a kid with a flag. Yeah, so she sees all this as like whiteness and how she doesn't belong. Mara, this is how I see you. This is what I see. I mean, I like how the American flags also don't sort of calm her down and go, oh, they're just patriotic. There's no Confederate flags or anything. No, that makes it worse. Because Trump is the KKK, and if you have a Trump flag and an American flag, it means KKK in America for everyone. I thought this was interesting. Charlotte Clymer added to the story and wants you to know that she knows what Mara Gay is talking about. Boy, she must have had it rough in grade school with a name like Gay, right? I'll speak for myself here, says Charlotte. I've folded countless American flags for the loved ones of fallen service members. Oh, Charlotte must be in the military. And when I see this, all I can think is, yeah, that person is definitely an asshole and most likely a coward. Wow. So I'm military. I've dealt with fallen, but so I'm good at seeing things in context. And when I see that, I think asshole, coward. I don't. You know what I see? I see a guy who runs a pressure washer company who has 12 employees, and he has been screwed recently with taxes, and he's having trouble getting his head above water. He's had to lay guys off, and he's fucking pissed because not just 2 years ago, his company was seeing unprecedented sales, and he was about to hire 3 new people, including his son-in-law, who's been down on his luck and had just married his daughter. And he thought, I'll give Eddie a job until he can get on his feet, or maybe he could eventually take over the company. That's how things were going. And that's why he loved America, because when you let it roam free, money starts happening. Get out the fucking way. And then Biden comes along and gets in the way, and he thinks, fuck you. And she takes that as, I don't like black people. What? On Long Island? So you remember who Charlotte Clymer is, right? Actually, go back and click on the tweet. Or was it a tweet? Or was it a picture of a tweet? No, it's a tweet. So click on the Charlotte herself.
Oh, it's a picture of a tweet.
Because you look at the picture, if you could zoom in maybe, and you're like, she's kind of pretty. Is that the chick from the X-Files? Or is it the chick from like Legally Blonde? No, she doesn't quite look like that. And then I looked her up. Wait a minute, that looks familiar.
My God.
That's that weird giant beast who dyed his eyebrows blonde and he grew out his hair and is now a woman covered in makeup. He's also the guy that is so big and strong and broad-shouldered, which is why we needed him in the military. He's now a human meme that perfectly describes why men and women are different. Remember this? No doubt instructing this frightened young woman on the proper way to do the feminisms. Look at the shoulders. Now, I couldn't find the original one, but remember the one that's about a paragraph?
Yeah.
Of explaining like his shoulders, his demeanor, her submissive demeanor, and how this perfectly shows you how men and women are different. Like if I was doing a class on how men and women have different vibes, I would use that picture. And I'd say, ignore the part where the guy's in a dress, because besides that, this is a great example of the difference between men and women. The New York Times was very upset that we were laughing at Maya Gay. And they wanted you to know, even though we saw a fuck ton of context just then, that the New York Times editorial board member Mara Gay's comments on MSNBC have been irresponsibly taken out of context. Can you talk about context when you watch a clip for like a minute? I mean, my quotes get taken out of context. They take 2 words. Her argument was that Trump and many of his supporters have politicized the American flag. The attacks on her today are ill-informed and grounded in bad faith. I guarantee you that person who wrote that tweet is another affirmative action hire who's way out of her depth and has to say stupid shit like that because no one with any kind of IQ wants that stupid job. And just to remind you who Maya Gay is, as I said earlier, she's the one who thinks that Bloomberg spending $500 million on his campaign is enough. Well, $500 million is obviously the same as $500 trillion. And if you had $500 trillion, you definitely have 327 trillion. So you could give each 327 million people in America $1 million each. So 500 million times 500 is 500 trillion. She seems to think 500 million is 500 trillion because you could divide it all up and scroll down and you can see the actual clip. Now, what I would say if someone said that is I'd say, okay, if someone had 500 oranges, is that enough oranges for every American? If million is too complicated for you, let's make them oranges.
If there was 327 people, it would work just fine.
500 million is 500 units. The unit in this case is 1 million, but the unit could be an orange. And furthermore, we've heard of things that generate 500 million. Like I think Avatar grossed 800 million. So wait a minute. If Avatar was feeling generous, or maybe their profits are 800 million. If someone's feeling generous like Avatar, they could make every American a millionaire? Do it then. No, my dear. If you divide 500 million by 331 million, whatever we are, you get about $1.83 each. And I love how so first this dumb tweet goes out and everyone laughs at it, but she brings it to a show with Brian Williams. And then Brian Williams is like, I love it. It's so true. I never thought of that before. So the left has an IQ problem is what we're learning here.